Listen, there's no time. We've got to talk about Pikmin. Launching only a couple weeks into the GameCube's life cycle, the original Pikmin helped establish the console's reputation for quirky, offbeat games that strayed away from company conventions. It brought a Nintendo spin to the real-time strategy genre, and made the concept more approachable with its lightweight presentation and charming atmosphere. This is where red, yellow, and blue Pikmin with their color-coded affinities made their debut alongside protagonist Olimar, and the familiar gameplay loop of commanding a little legion of Pikmin to explore environments and gather items began. The usual rogues gallery surfaced here too, with your Bulborbs, Wallyhops, and Blowhogs all making appearances. The game told a simple story about a captain crash landing on a foreign world with a small window of time to escape before oxygen poisoning puts an end to him. Presenting a clear objective of gathering scattered ship parts and setting a 30-day timer to do it provided focus, and there's a lot of replay value for folks looking to optimize their runs. Its structure also grants a distinct flare of tension, and that pressure can be a great time if you can bear it. Pikmin II was a modest departure in that department. For Olimar's second appearance on the GameCube, he was tasked with pairing up with Louie and paying down a looming company debt that didn't demand the same urgency as survival. What really set the game apart from its predecessor, though, was the new characters and caves. The former gave the player more to juggle, since they could now be in two places at once, while the latter lifted timers to provide a floor-descending framework with more intricate, challenging puzzles and scenarios that culminated in more dynamic, varied boss battles. White and purple Pikmin were also added to the mix and could only be procured underground, bringing with them digging, amplified weight, and the threat of poison to complement fire, water, and electrical hazards. The treasures that replace ship parts will grant gear for new abilities, enhancements, and resistances as well. While the main story stayed a solo experience, this entry also ushered in multiplayer with two-player battle and challenge modes serving up competition and collaboration. Best of all though, Pikmin II showcased the Piklopedia and Treasure Hoard for the first time, providing plenty of lore that any player who took the time to read certainly wouldn't snagret. Pikmin III committed to tradition and increased its active character count to reflect its number, but it took the gameplay back to its roots with a renewed focus on surface expeditions. It also showcased a penchant for spectacle with the jump to HD hardware, and was the first game in the series to see a new crew take the lead with Alf, Brittany, and Charlie. The story raised the stakes, with the Kopite crew striving to gather fruits to feed their starving planet, and the overarching timeline was now decided by how much of a juice buffer was built from the daily harvests. The narrative was generally more involved in the last two outings, with more animated discussions too. Leveraging the Wii U gamepad, Pikmin III made the prospect of juggling three characters easier by presenting a map and allowing players to direct their crewmates. A lock-on mechanic was brought into the fold as well, and Pikmin extraction was streamlined with a single onion instead of three like prior entries. Two new species also joined the fray in Rock and Winged Pikmin, who could chip away at hard obstacles and carry collectibles through the air respectively. Factor in bingo battles, mission mode DLC, and the Deluxe Edition's co-op campaign, and this game is poised to leave you anything but crumad. It'd be a decade before the Pikmin trilogy became a quadrilogy, but the wait was definitely worth it. Pikmin IV pulled back on the active character count and added a layer of complexity by way of Ochi, a companion that played like past crewmates but offered new conveniences like ferrying Pikmin and carrying items. The protagonist this time around is a player-created avatar and new recruit for the Rescue Corps, tasked with retrieving a stranded Olimar and other castaways scattered across the Pikmin planet. Treasures and caves from the second installment made a welcome return, with the latter either coming in the familiar format or as Dandori battles and challenges courtesy of Leaflings. Ice Pikmin debuted here, and Night Expeditions made their first appearance too, providing a tower defense experience and a species of Pikmin that give the Bulbmans' versatility a run for their Pokos. Your custom crewmate Nochi can unlock and upgrade new abilities, carry an inventory of finite resources and convenience tools, and map a variety of mechanics to shortcuts. There's also multiple bases in a given environment to switch between, and Flarlix that incrementally expand the field capacity. All that to say, Pikmin IV has the strongest sense of growth and progression in the series so far, and you'd truly be a foolix to pass it up. Oh, and it looks like we're out of time. Thanks for watching, folks and friends. Pikmin is one of my favorite franchises, so I welcome any and all excuses to talk about it here on the channel. If you got a minute, why not join me in the comments and share some of your Pikmin experiences? And if you got a lot more than a minute, well, I've got some videos for you. Dive on in.